Drugs. Drugs were still there. People that also enjoy drugs and alcohol were still there. And if those years could be described in a picture, it would be me standing at night with a stripper peeing next to me with somebody handing me a Coke can with crack cocaine. And I'm not going to lie to you. I wish it wasn't true. But those 3 years could be described in that. Needless to say, I was failing in the insurance business. And out of pity, and one of the agents got me, said, hey man, why don't you come work for me? Do some office stuff for me and I'll pay you for it. So, and this guy was so unorganized. I wish I could describe it. He was so rich. And he had just checks and money just laying all around his office. One time I took $73,000 to the bank for this guy just because it looked like litter on the floor. And I said, bro, you might want to take this off the floor and do something with it. Anyway, so unorganized. Money. Making money. My next goal. I remember organizing again and depositing $73,000 in checks that this dude had laying around his office. Naturally, I was hanging around guys with money. I was introduced at some point to poker. Poker, Texas Hold'em, holy cow, I could make money so fast. I became entranced with poker like I did with skateboarding. I would take all of the money that I made, cash it, and I would play poker. I wanted my divorce debt gone. I wanted nice things. I wanted to be somebody. Winning at poker made me feel like a hero. I needed to feel like a hero. The only thing is that with luck and probability, you can have all your money in at the right time and you can lose. So here I am, taking any available money, gambling in local games, driving down to the Marching Down Poker House in Hampton Roads. After those games would end, I would get invited to a shotgun-guarded house in the middle of the absolute ghetto, and we would play poker until the sun came up. I was the baby-faced poker kid hanging out with real serious gamblers with real serious money. I used to take $300 and spin it up to $10,000, and then that $10,000 would be gone. I just could never walk away. I lied constantly to my father. I started writing checks to myself from the unorganized guy I worked with for $500 at a time. I started taking the money from my friend was giving me for rent. I took it all. I was just chasing money. I was chasing the big win. I wanted to be somebody and I want my problems fixed. Luck ran out again and I was on my way home at 6 a.m, broke, lost the stolen money, lost the rent money, lost it all. Stole gas from a gas station to get home from Hampton Roads. Called my dad explaining how tough life was and how I needed money to help with bills. He said, David, I think you got a serious gambling problem. I can't help you, but if you need a place to sleep, you can come home. The gig was up. The friend found out I was gambling the rent money. The insurance guy found out I was stealing from him. The eviction notice was up from the sheriff's department was on the door. I lost it all. After a lot of sleep, I got a job at the local Applebee's working in the kitchen. I had to ride my bike from Mechanicsville Little League down Walnut Grove to Applebee's and back every day. Riding, I felt like I was passing everybody I went to school with. Every car that went by, I hid my face. It wasn't over there. I found online poker. I had debts to pay. I had things to fix. I wanted to be somebody. My paycheck every 2 weeks was $734.21. After 2 weeks of schlepping through a kitchen with my jeans covered in soot, gross. And that money never lasted 48 hours. I would ride my bike home. I would get online poker. I would try to play, win. Money gone. Back on my bike. Back to Applebee's. 2 weeks. Get my $734. It's going to be different this time. I'm going to win this time. That went on and on until I literally could not feel like I had any reason to live. The one bright moment of that Applebee's is I ran into a high school romance. We started dating again. I was embarrassed to work at Applebee's. Nobody really knew that I kept gambling away every dollar I had. I started working manual labor at a golf course. I wanted to be a golf pro. I wanted to be somebody. We got married and settled, and that was going to work for that. I said, hey, maybe I'm just going to have to work for a menial wage for the rest of my life. The golf pro thing wasn't going to work. I got into pressure washing trucks. I was going to be a truck washing business. I was making decent money, but I was frying my body out. Again, I started praying. I said, God, do you even exist? Is this all there is to life? Chasing money, work, with no time to enjoy it? I prayed. And I said, hey, iPhone, iPad, I pray. I pray clothing. That's it. I'm going to start a clothing line called I Pray. Somebody introduced me to a guy making t-shirts. He had a heat gun and a little wooden t-shirt press. And he was working on a big order. And I was looking like, dude, that's going to take forever with that little heat gun and with this little thing. And he said, well, quickly the conversation turned into, hey man, I got some wedding money that we're going to use to buy a house. And I'm blasting stickers off these trucks, and you do stickers. So I said, hey, you know what? I'll buy the equipment you need. We'll use the money I got from to buy my home, and we'll buy the equipment, and then I'll put stickers on trucks, and you'll make t-shirts. I wanted to be somebody. After a year being in business together, I had a baby on the way, and it just wasn't working. And that was cool. We went our separate ways. I took my equipment, and he took his. He kept his business, and I started my own business. So now I have t-shirt equipment that I don't know how to use, and I had to come up with a company name. And I really wanted it to be It's Ink. It's Ink. And when you write down It's Ink on a piece of paper, all you see is I sink. That's all you see. I said, well, that's not going to work. I'm going to make it inked. INKT. I still didn't know who God was, but I felt like he existed. So I put a cross in the logo. It was ink that led to a cross. And ink began. And as soon as it began, it looked like it was going to tank. After the next, believe me, I had zero graphic design experience, zero screen printing ability, nor did I really have any experience as a business owner. My wife was on maternity leave. She had to go back to work. My business was making very little money, and it was going to close. I was angry. I was angry at God. I was angry at my ex-business partner. I was angry that I was still a nobody. I went to church with a friend because somebody invited me, and I couldn't say no. And that service was all about, it's not about you. It's not about you. And for some reason, that really hit me because all of those anger thoughts was about me. I was thinking about my success and me and my money, and it was all me. And it hit home for me. And I said, you know what? The heck with it. Maybe I am just going to work the rest of my life. Maybe I'm going to be a stay-at-home dad the rest of my life. I went to work that Monday. A local farm kid named Grayson Kirby got in a terrible accident. He had his feet in the car and in the passenger side on top, and they were doing donuts in a bean field. Car hit a rut. Car tumbled, crushes him multiple times. It's a miracle he's alive. But at that time, he had already died 3 times. He's in the hospital. And somebody reached out to me and said, hey, they want to do some t-shirts for this guy. They want you to draw it. They want you to handle it. They're dealing with his medical issues. They can't do it. You need to do it. And I said, hey, well, if this is my final thing, I'm going to do it. I'm going to help these people. I'm going to draw this truck on this shirt as best I could. I'm going to put GWK Strong across it. And we're going to sell these shirts for this family. I'm going to keep $5, $15 that we're selling a t-shirt for, $10 is going to go to the family. That t-shirt went viral. We sold 2,091 shirts. The man that should not have been handling money had over $20,000 in cash. All these people came into my little shop to buy these t-shirts for me. After that, a month before my wife's going back to work, people came in and said, hey. And at the time, I needed that money. And I had the devil whispering in my ear saying, man, they're a big farm family, man. They don't need that money. And I had all this money. I needed it. I finally had it. I had a chance. I gave every dime to the right place. I did the right thing at the right time. You guys are going to have decisions that are so impactful, and just you must try to recognize when you're in them. Anyway, I did the right thing with the money. I felt like that was it. People started walking in and say, hey, man, you did the Grayson shirts, didn't you? I said, yeah, I did. Hey, man, I need to order 100 of these. Okay, cool, all right. A little bit of business. Within that month, ink became so busy that my wife had to quit her job. And honestly, I fell to my knees because 7 years ago when I prayed that prayer, God, will you please give me a job? Will you please give me somebody that loves me? Will you please give me a business? Will you please? It all happened. I had to be patient. All of those things I described to you are real life. That's my life. And I now have a business. We just celebrated 7 years as a design company in ink. We print, we embroider, we wrap, we make signs. And that hokey friend, he hit me up and he said, man, you got it made. I said, what? I said, I always wanted to be like you. He's like, no, man, I got $70,000 in college debt and I don't really know what I'm doing. Look at you. And I'm like, it was a shock to me. It was a shock. But we've got 9 employees and we're going to break $1 million in sales. And in my prayers, I've asked God, use me to speak to people. In just 2 short months, I've been asked to speak at Oak Hill Christian Camp to the high school. I've been asked to speak at Fixed Ministry. And now here with you. In closing, the scouting report. Do not let others' opinions of you define you. Drugs and alcohol. In the end, they talk a good game, but they really leave you empty. They make you want more. They truly affect your body for the bad. Typically, the person with the most failures is the most successful. Don't be scared to take chances. Sex will be one of the most biggest distractions from actual relationship building. If you have a chance to be a father, be a good one. Pornography will affect 9 of the 10 men in this room, and it'll create an addiction and an unhealthy vision of the way sex should be in a relationship. In 8 years, I knew we were going, 9 and 10, here they are. In 8 years, you can go from riding your bike to work at Applebee's to being $1 million business owner. If you love money, you will always want more, and you'll never have enough. Freedom outside of the 9 to 5, Monday through Friday rat race is one of the most valuable things in today's society. Work hard to create a surplus that can help others. Encourage someone you don't know. Addiction is real. No one chooses it, but it can be beat. Make memories. Embrace each other for our differences. If you don't look to God for salvation, at least look to Him for wisdom. College doesn't make you successful. Your honesty with yourself and your direction to your own career path can. You will have more opportunities. Teachers are actually here because they feel called to help you. They are not here for the money or any other reason. Your drive to succeed needs to be ferocious. No one has proven that Jesus doesn't exist. Search that for yourself. My life found purpose when I stopped listening to them and I started following Him. If a near high school dropout with no college degree, battling addiction, can lose it all multiple times to the point of not wanting to live, can become a father to 2 healthy kids with an amazing wife, with a house with land and a successful business, with freedom to enjoy life in 8 years. You guys are 17 and 18 years old. By 25 and 26 years old, you could do all of that. Maybe quicker. Class of 2020. What are you going to do? Thank you.